Hi folks, welcome to the Sabres Reloaded. This is a video on the channel that talks about current topics, trends going on with our boys, and what is happening right now, guys, is just amazing. What's going on with the boys is amazing right now. They've come right off that losing streak and right back to a winning streak. So here we go with the Jekyll and Hyde young kids that we're kind of getting used to and adapting to, I guess. You know, we're trying to just adapt to what's going on with this team, which is hard to do because it gets really frustrating when they're in their low points. Now, that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. Will there be another low point this year, or have we seen the last one this year, guys? And I ask you guys that realistically. Will we see another losing streak this year? Because this is what I put here. I go avoiding a losing streak as the title of this video, avoiding a losing streak. Because if we're going to make the playoffs, I don't think we can afford another 4-game skid. And I'm talking, let's talk regulation losses though. I'm talking, can the boys manage, and I'm saying manage, in the next 30 plus games, not to lose 3 consecutive games in regulation? Forget the overtime. Okay, because overtime's like a tie. You get a point. I'm talking regulation losses. Can we somehow avoid it? Especially with these 2 tough games coming up. It's not going to get any easier, guys. It's not going to get any easier next 2 games just because we're 2-0. You know, we'll see the next 2. I'm wondering, can they avoid a losing streak? You know, if we lose, can we salvage in between? If we get a losing streak, let's say, and we lose like 4 in a row, but 2 of them managed to get to overtime. You know, can we avoid a losing streak in regulation? I guess should be really the emphasis on this, because that's what concerns me down the stretch now. If we can hang around, and we're hanging around, but if we can hang around without a losing streak happening, that means we're hanging around. That means we're not going to fade. The only thing that can kill us now is a long-ass losing streak, guys. 4 or 5 consecutive losses in a row in regulation. That's what can kill this season right now. Now we have 30-some games left, right? We have about 33, 34. Let me check that. You think I would know off the top of my head, but I'm so tired, guys. I'm so tired. Every inch of my body's aching. All right. Yeah, 35. 35 games left. Can the boys manage not to go on a real long losing streak? And long meaning 4. Because if we can do that, I think we can make the playoffs this year. We got to stop the bleeding quick. Okay? That's the thing. If we lose, we have to bounce back with a win. That's the key thing now the rest of the year. That's what we were doing late last year, guys. You might remember when we had our good finish. We were looking good down the stretch. We would bounce back after a loss. We knew there was games like in Florida and in Carolina, those late games that we remember, and we'd be winning, but we couldn't close it out because of our defensive play. So that still might happen. Difference is this year we score a lot more goals than last year's team, guys. That's why we're winning more. We're scoring more. So can the boys get that done? I'm wondering, can they close out the season without losing 3 consecutive regulation losses in a row the rest of the next 35 games? It's possible, but that I think is what the doctor will order, especially, guys, we're coming in down the stretch. Before you know it, it's down the stretch. We're in the end of February, and now the stretch run begins. You know, we have a month to go before that. So, and February is a short month. So we've got this month upcoming. And then the next thing you know, we're in the stretch run. And we're going to just see in the last 20 games where we're at. Because if the Sabres can just play good the next 10, 12 games, we're playing meaningful games all season. I don't care what anybody says. All season. If we hang around the next dozen games, I think we'd have to go something like 6-4-2 at least. Okay, 6-4-2 the next 12 games. That's not asking a ton. So I'm trying to keep it realistic. But if we can do that the next dozen games, We will be playing meaningful games all season, guys. All year, right to the end. They're going to count right to the end. Because that means we'd literally have to fall off the map in a 10-game span to not be in it if we can do that the next dozen games. There's going to be a lot of meaningful games, I believe, this year. Not just right now. We're talking about, you guys are excited, like right now we're actually playing meaningful games. When's the last time we could say that? It's true. But what about meaningful games, guys, in 6 weeks from now? Will we be playing those? Because if we are, we're going to be having a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun, guys. This is long overdue. And this is why I believe we're going to. Not because of any reason except that it's overdue in Buffalo. It's overdue that we're playing meaningful games right to the end of the year. Whether we make it or not, we get our hearts broke or not, that's not the issue right now. The issue is, did that come true? Did this team come true? Yeah, it has so far. It has. But will it come true right to the end? Will it? Right to the end. I think it will. I think we're going to be playing meaningful games even in the final 2 weeks of the season. I think we're going to be a bubble team right to the end now. Now, that's a lot of games left for me to be right about that, but it just sure feels that way. If we could tighten up defensively, which I think they might, guys, because it seems like everything, so far everything, guys, this year, we've been a little ahead of schedule. I think most of you would agree with that. Even UPL, everything seems a little ahead of schedule, which I'm great with. So why not? Why not the Sabres just go, ahead of schedule and make a run to get in? We know it's overdue. We know this franchise is dying. The fan base would give up their right arm to see a playoff game at this point. Of course. I think it would be so special for this franchise if they got in. It would be something else. It got in ahead of schedule. I want to keep repeating that because we're not supposed to be but the lowest paid and the youngest team in hockey supposed to be making the playoffs. No, we're not. But that doesn't matter. Tell that to them. They don't care. You get a young team that's mentally strong enough and cocky enough, they're not scared of anything. And that's the feel I have, guys, with this young bunch. Nothing intimidates them. Look, they just came off another heartbreaking losing streak recently. And they've bounced back again. So if anything, they're very durable, guys. They're like a rubber ball. You can keep throwing it at the wall. They're not going to splat. They're going to come right back at you. They're just going to keep coming. So when's the last time, guys, we had a team like that? Probably 06, 07. The 2011 squad wasn't very good. Not really. I mean, the way they faded against Boston in the playoffs, I could see this team this year against this Bruins team, who's far better than that team was back then. And our team now is younger, way younger than our team back then. I could see this team causing a lot of problems if they got in the playoffs for Boston. A lot of problems. Yes. Could they upset them? Yes. They're young. Of course they could. I think you guys would go crazy if the Sabres ever got in the playoffs this year and upset the Bruins. I can't imagine what you guys would be acting like. I'd probably have to put you guys in a cage. It would be nuts. It would be nuts. It'd be special. And we'd be the talk of the league if that happens. Like, you'd want to talk about jumping, and I'm talking leaps and bounds in your development. You get in the playoffs, that's one thing. But upsetting the top team in hockey, that's a whole other ballgame. And that would be, I think, forever one of the great moments in Sabres history. But I just want to put that out there for you guys to think about, because that's what we'd be playing Boston if we make the playoffs. I think we know that. We're going to be playing Boston. And the truth is, if we have a choice, okay, and we're, let's say, in the two wild card spots, because I'm not going to talk about third place because you're talking about a team that's won Stanley Cups, okay? They're not washed up over in Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay's going to play over 500 the rest of the season. They're not the Washington Capitals. They're not on the decline yet over there. So I don't think about first, second, and third. I think about the wild card because that is what we are. It's a wild bunch anyway. So we get into the playoffs. If I have my pick, I want the second seed in the wild card. I want a shot at Boston. If the Sabres make it, that is. If. That's a big if. All right. Let's leave it there. Tease you guys a little. Have a little fun with that. Just to think about. But, you know, if we don't have a losing streak the rest of the year, these dreams could become reality one day. Sooner than later, guys. It is possible. All right. See you in the next one.